is very warm, and right now water
Alright folks, it's now time for Case 34. Thanks to these three for helping me out. Terry, Ali, and Nini. Speak, friend, and die.
This one, very far away from Hawaii, so no need to bring those along those yet.
Ranger Matthew must find Baxter Frazier. He's one of Sombra's test subjects, and he's on the run. Yes, Chief. From what we could tell, Baxter was fleeing Indonesia for New Zealand. And New Zealand is where the 5th film in the Ringed Lord's Septology is being filmed. What, Matthew? The books are really amazing, and the films are too. If Frazier's on the run, putting on a silly costume and milling about with extras could be a perfect hiding place for him. We must follow any lead we've got, Matthew. Go get Baxter Frazier. He could give us more information about Sombra. Get to the set of that film, Ranger Matthew. We haven't got a moment to lose.
Northeast winds coming in at 10 to 20. Maui County, same story. We'll have more sunshine, just a couple of windward showers. Mainly
yes, Chief.
We have the frontal boundary. It's falling apart over you, but still enough moisture. I think we'll see windward showers, especially in the morning. Low 84, cloudy in the morning, and then some sunshine in the afternoon. Leeward sides will actually see a little bit more sunshine. 85 for Kailua Kona, and those winds on the leeward side coming out of the southwest at 5 to 15. Northeast winds at 10 to 15 for windward sections. For tonight, 72. Again, a couple of windward showers, not a huge amount. Tomorrow we'll get to 85 degrees.
Oh, please don't tell me that's Baxter Frazier.
We'll see some clouds early, but by the afternoon, lots of sunshine. Lighter winds are in our future. By Friday, we have a trough block our high pressure. That's going to mean
Peters.
Saturday into Sunday. Also some haze, and be aware in leeward sections in the afternoon on the weekend because of those lighter winds. We could see some scattered showers, so just a heads up there. Over to Mike and Yeti. All right, thank you so
this patron has a seafood allergy.
That's when she'll be sailing into Gantry Plaza to celebrate World Oceans Day. It's a date set aside by the United Nations.
The canoe is carrying a document that came to them early in the voyage, and it came as a surprise, but it's become the torch for much of their mission. KITV's
we barely set foot on this film set and we find a dead body. This victim doesn't fit the scene, and he definitely isn't Baxter Frazier. Wait a minute, Matthew. That's Jackson Peters, the director of the Ringed Lord's Septology. He's one of the most epic film directors of all time. What are we fans going to do if he's dead? They're only just now making film 5 of 7. Don't worry, Matthew, I'll get a grip. Have you found anything that could start us on the hunt for Jackson Peters' killer? Good point. That megaphone has the victim's last name on it. You can dust it for fingerprints. Maybe this won't be the only ones we find. His won't be the only ones we find. You also found a card warning about a seafood allergy with what looks like blood on it. Think you can get a sample? I know you won't let Jackson Peters' murder go unpunished, Matthew. Let's catch this killer.
Nobody even know what you're talking about. If you raise the word climate change, few would know. But it wouldn't be.
Alright, I better get some stars, so sit tight, everybody. Okay. Let's start the allergy card first. Lars should be able to tell us more about the blood you got from that allergy card. Let's send it to him. Let's get it to him.
No current job, no address. And no records of a missing person report filed on father.
3 hours.
Starved this kid? A lot of mouths to feed, no income. Did he have a sheet? Any DV calls to the residents? No, but the abuse could have started after eviction. What construction? Yeah, I talked to his union rep. Was he getting Social Security?
You found fingerprints on the megaphone, Matthew. Even though it has the victim's name on it, we can't be certain it was his. Time to check them against the database to find a match.
I got that right here. Son Micah 13, 2 Savannah 7, Lizzie 5. Where are they? Child Services took custody a year ago for a couple of months. Rights. Dispute. Control just located Walmart's car in Alley.
Okay. There we go. There we are. there we are. Bronwyn Peters. Okay. So the fingerprints you found on the megaphone belong to Bronwyn Peters? Bronwyn Peters is the victim's wife. Did you know that Bronwyn is also the casting director for The Ring's Lord Septology? Yeah. Why would you know that? Well, it looks like we need to deliver some bad news to Miss Peters. Let's go.
It's about your daughter, Carly. Seen her? Is she okay? We should discuss this in private.
Tell her that her husband's been murdered. Miss Peters, I'm afraid we have some bad news for you. What is it now? Has our main warlock flown off on a giant owl or something? Please, Miss Peters, settle down. We've come to tell you that your husband, Jackson Peters, was murdered this morning. Jackson? My husband? He was murdered? Who could have done this? Why? That's just what we were trying to find out. And since you work together on top of being married, you think I killed him, don't you? Always look at the spouse. That's right. Well, I can tell you working together and being married was no picnic. But we made it work somehow. We always found a way, usually at the local rugby bar. Jackson and I always used to go there to solve problems with the film. Miss Peters, we're sorry for your loss, but we may need more of your help with this investigation. Please stay close so we can find you. Bronwyn Peters says that she and the victim often went to the local rugby bar. Good idea, Matthew. If the victim spent a lot of time at the bar, maybe we can find some clues to help find his killer.
So you turned defenseless minors into a stranger. A woman would not hurt them, right? And she gave me a phone number, and I talked to her a couple times after that. No, the number got disconnected. What is this woman's name? Magda Paloma. She was 35, short. She had a little scar all over her left eye, and I even got the license plate right here. Yes.
Aha, I see one clue.
$100.
Torn photo.
You sold your kids to her. I love my kids. I got them love. Lots of kids have jobs.
Perfect.
I begged child services to help. Split them up. And Lizzie got her arm broken because some other kid over there attacked her. There's predators in foster care too, Detective.
When you spoke with your daughter, did she mention to you?
Wow, look at that orc mask. That's the real deal. I can hardly believe my eyes. Oh yeah, good point, Matthew. This mask is probably a clue. There seems to be some dry skin on it. Think you can get a sample? And I see you found a torn photo. Let's piece it together, pronto.
Starved, beaten, and sexually assaulted.
I need to get some more stars, so sit tight. Okay, I got 7 stars. Let's examine the orc mask. Energy coming my way. Time to go into microscopic sleuthing mode on skin cells from that orc mask, Matthew.
Do that. The pipes, you find the burst. We also got foundation problems. We're moving to the command center outside. They say a week, but I don't believe it. Why not? The construction company owner who rehabbed the precincts just got indicted. So, concrete testing is fake. We may have to undergo the foundation. We'll figure something.
Okay.
Leads on Magda Paloma's whereabouts? What do they say to the police matches?
We're running a description against any known workers. It's not like they're talking about 3
Put together a report. We're going to ID or in custody.
Perfect. Jermaine Waka. The skin cells you collected from the orc mask belong to a certain Jermaine Waka? How could I have forgotten? I read online that they got a star rugby player to be the biggest, baddest orc in the 5th film of The Ringed Lord. Let's go talk to Mr. Waka. Maybe he can tell us a bit more about the victim. Sit tight, folks. And let's talk to Jermaine Waka. Mr. Waka, Ranger Matthew and I have a few... Sure, I always have time for my fans. How about a little photo? I'll teach you a haka. A traditional Maori war cry? That would be educational. Instead, how about you answer a few questions about Jackson Peters? He was murdered on the set of The Ringed Lord. Murdered? Crikey, Dick, that's a shock. I guess the film's over then. Back to full-time rugby for me. You're taking this surprisingly well. Did you not want to be in the film? Oh, well, you know, my manager told me to transition to film. Can't play rugby forever. No mortal can, eh? And don't get me wrong, working with Jackson Peters was a real thrill, but he could also be a royal pain. A little respect for the dead, please? Don't go anywhere, Mr. Waka. I have a feeling we'll need to talk to you again. Got it. Looks like someone didn't want to have their photo taken. Classic no photos pose. Hey, wait a minute. You're right, Matthew. I do see something off in this photo. The subject's eyes, they're yellow. All the somber test subjects have yellow eyes, and the man in this photo looks an awful lot like Baxter Fraser. So Baxter is in New Zealand. Good point, Matthew. From what I can see in the background, he's been hiding out in this bar. Even though Fraser seems to be running away from Sombra, he was still trained by them. Who knows what he might do? A Sombra test subject this close to a dead body can't be a coincidence. We must find Fraser and grill him on what he's doing here. About his presence in New Zealand? Baxter Fraser, you couldn't hide from Ranger Matthew forever. You must have me mistaken for somebody else. Baxter, Ranger Matthew would know your yellow eyes anywhere. We know who you are. We know Sombra experimented on you. Don't say that name. How did you find me? If you found me, they can find me. You claim to be on the run from Sombra, but as soon as you show up in New Zealand, Jackson Peters ends up dead. Jackson was murdered? Sombra got him. They got him to show that they could get me. We know there's more to you than being in New Zealand than you're telling us, Baxter, and Ranger Matthew will get to the truth. Okay, I'll let these two run their courses. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, it's Matthew. We're back. Let's get the results of the blood. Howdy, Matthew. The blood sample you sent me had a little story to tell. Hope it's a short one, Lars. We have a murder to solve. I know you're on edge, Carmen. I've heard about how much the Ringed Lord means to you. Shut up, Lars. Just tell us about the blood already. Well, the blood on the card definitely belonged to the victim, but when I checked the sample for the seafood allergy marker, I saw nothing. So if this seafood allergy card didn't belong to the victim, it must belong to the killer. Exactly. The killer is allergic to seafood, which is a real shame in New Zealand. The seafood here is amazing. Well, you won't catch me crying for that monster. Still, here's hoping we catch the killer before a prawn does. And because I'm under a happy hour, I'm going to speed this up. Hey Matthew, this is shaping up to be an atypical case. I never expected to see Jackson Peters on my slab. I just don't know how they'll be able to carry on to the end of the septology without him to guide the ship. Wow, Carmen, I didn't figure you for a Ringed Lord geek. What's wrong with escaping into a good story now and then? Nothing at all. What's wrong is murder, and I can tell you that Mr. Peters was beaten to death, but not with a typical blunt object. I found a shark tooth embedded in the victim's scalp, Matthew. Did you say a shark tooth, Angela? If so, the murder weapon could be a maripi. It's a carved wooden tool used by Maori tribesmen. Shark teeth are added to one side in order to cut flesh. There's debate as to whether the maripi is just a tool or also a weapon, but... Thank you, Jonah. In this case, it was definitely used as a weapon, and the killer left some evidence on the shark tooth. I found tiny traces of wild berries, cream, and meringue on the tooth, all ingredients in the famous dessert pavlova. So the killer has a sweet tooth for pavlova, huh? I know it's a big deal in New Zealand. The killer had better eat all they can before Matthew sends them to prison.
You're supposed to understand that I know I'm a better skater than you. Without your triple axel, you're just like any other skater. Well, now I'm going to show you something that's going to...
Well, Matthew, we found Baxter Frazier, but we have even more on our plate now. I can't believe that someone cracked open Jackson Peters' head. What a loss. He was a genius. Jermaine Waka had no idea how lucky he was to work with the best film director of our time. Okay, I know that I'm a little biased. Never fear, Matthew, I won't let it cloud my judgment. As for Baxter Frazier, we better keep an eye on him. Being trained by Sombra, who knows what he might do, or might have done already. Ranger Matthew, I have new information about your victim. Your victim didn't die on the set. Jackson Peters wasn't murdered on the film set?
You were afraid. I was smart. I got what I wanted, Debbie. I got the $1 million endorsements.
Wow.
And now you know you would have never beaten me. Because I'm the only woman who can do it.
Since I'm under a happy hour, we're going to stop here for Chapter 1, and I'll see you guys for Chapter 2. Alright folks, it's Matthew. We are back. Let's start Chapter 2 of Speak, Friend, and Die. I can't believe that someone cracked open Jackson Peters' head. What a loss. He was a genius. At least he found Baxter Frazier. It is suspicious that he happened to be in New Zealand right when Jackson Peters was killed.
What are you doing here, Dr. Sloan?
And that rugby player, Jermaine Waka, had no idea how lucky he was to play an orc in a movie from the best film director of our time. Ranger Matthew, I have new information about your victim. He wasn't killed on the movie set, and I have proof. Minerals I found on the victim's clothing match the alkaline chemical profile of the water from the springs at the Rotorua Geyser. Wait, what? How do those minerals end up on the victim's clothes? Who would have bathed in a spring with all their clothes on? I believe that the victim was killed at the Rotorua Geyser. That spot is a major tourist attraction, so the killer needed to move the body. Since Jackson Peters was killed at the geyser, we're bound to find clues. We better get over there on the double. Best part here, getting to examine this crime scene for free. And I think I see a couple clues already. At least one, anyway. Movie scripts. Allergy medicine. And it is enough for the first star. And third place. For the time being, anyway. Major clue, Matthew. That allergy medicine has a seafood allergy warning sticker on it. The killer is allergic to seafood, and we find this allergy medicine at the site of the murder. It has to belong to the killer. If you get a sample of that weird glowing blue stuff, we could learn something new about the person who murdered Jackson Peters. And what are all those little plastic dots on that messy notebook? Think you can get a sample of them? There's one thing I don't get, though. What does that rock sample you picked up have to do with anything? The label says Armstrong R. Who's that? You're sure that it belongs to Ruby Armstrong? She's a volcanologist, and she was a suspect in Singapore. Isn't that right? We better track down Miss Armstrong and find out what she's doing here. Let's talk to Ruby Armstrong first. Miss Armstrong, Ranger Matthew found your rock sample near the Rotorua Geyser. To be honest, we're pretty surprised to see you in New Zealand. Who would want to visit New Zealand? Nearly every ecosystem on Earth can be experienced on these two islands. Is that so? I guess that's why Jackson Peters wanted to shoot the Ringed Lord here? Well, before he was killed. Someone killed Jackson? How awful! You were on a first-name basis with the victim? How's that possible? Well, after Singapore, I needed to get away, do something different to heal my broken heart. I saw that Jackson Peters was looking for location consultants with a scientific background for the Ringed Lord, and I jumped at the chance. I mean, get paid to walk around New Zealand? Seriously? I can't eat any of the great seafood because of my allergy, but other than that... But I'm just stunned by this news. I can't believe it. With Jackson dead, I guess I'm out of a job now. I guess so, Miss Armstrong. Stick around the islands. We may have more questions for you.
But this is a limited time offer. Call now.
Sunsetter retractable awnings are assembled in America and are guaranteed to last for years. And talk about extras. You can choose from motorized awnings.
Hey, allergy medicine now.
Or choose screened-in awnings. Free outdoor living, all for just a bit more.
No wonder Sunsetter is America's best-selling retractable awning.
Call now to get the whole Sunsetter.
There we are, 7. Looks like you got a sample of that weird glowing blue stuff from the killer's allergy medicine. Lars will know what it is. Let's rush it to him.
You're one of them, and you should be too.
Stay cooler and enjoy your deck or patio much more.
12 hours.
And do it all at $200 off if you call now.
Call now for your free on an idea kit.
Now, I will have to get the rest of the stars, so I don't think I'll be speeding anything up, unlike I did in Chapter 1.
Hey, pet lovers! At Chewy.com, you can shop from over 500 brands of pet food and supplies, all from the comfort of home.
Got it.
So do you.
You got a sample of those little plastic dots, and they were all over the victim's copy of the movie script. Jackson Peters must have left his script here when he was killed. We better get these little plastic dots to Lars. He'll tell us more about them.
Shop at Chewy.com.
6 hours. Alright, I'll get the remaining stars, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. I'm gonna get the green plastic dots first. Hey Matthew, it took me a while to figure out what these little plastic dots were, but when I got the DNA results from them, it all made sense. These plastic dots are motion capture points. Actors who are filmed for computer-generated characters wear motion capture points to make the characters move in a more realistic way. And, according to the DNA on the sample, Brett Darby was wearing these particular motion capture points. What? The Brett Darby? One of the most famous and sought-after motion capture artists on the planet? I see you're a fan, Carmen. Don't worry, Matthew, I'll keep my cool. We need to talk to Mr. Darby as part of an investigation into the murder of his boss. I'll be cool. Mr. Darby, Ranger Matthew and I need to talk to you about the murder of Jackson Peters. I can't believe it. One day he's here and the next, I've known Jackson all my life. Can't imagine the world without him in it. We grew up together and Jackson always had my back. He made sure I would always have work. Whenever there was a chance to use my skills on a project, he'd call me. But now he'll never call me again. No more pub crawls with Jackson and Bronwyn. No more teasing us about our seafood allergies. I know it's hard to talk about, but we may have more questions for you as the investigation develops. Please stay nearby.
Police
say a 36-year-old male was arrested on suspicion of terroristic threatening, criminal property damage, and 2 counts of assault. We blurred the faces because so far, no one has been charged with the crime in this case. The 36-year-old was...
Wow, Matthew, you brought me a substance I've always wanted to analyze. That glowing blue stuff on the allergy medicine, what the heck was it? Knock, knock. Oh no, not again. Who's there? Larval. Larval who? Larval always find a way. Ha, that's actually not bad. Larval, love will always find a way. Thanks for stealing my thunder, kiddo. Oh, come on, Lars. You just wanted to help. You better get back to your homework, Sanjay. Okay, I was just taking a quick break, I swear. So what is the blue stuff on the allergy medicine, Lars? It's the bioluminescence of Arachnocampa luminosa larvae. They're a type of fungus gnat found only in New Zealand. The larvae spend 6 to 12 months growing in caves, many of which aren't far from the crime scene. The only way the killer got this bioluminescence on their allergy medicine was to go spelunking in one of these local caves. So the killer went spelunking, huh? They'll wish they had a cave to hide in when Matthew catches up with them. Good point, Matthew. Maybe someone at the rugby bar overheard the killer talking about their spelunking adventures. Let's go.
Most locations looking good. Oahu has been dry for much of the day, but we've got some scattered showers now as we head over towards Kailua, all the way over towards Kaimuki, seeing some scattered rain, and some of this light rain could make it here into town, and also Waikiki as well. So we'll keep an eye on these showers. They're weakening, but they are moving onshore again. We haven't seen a whole lot of rain here in Oahu this evening. Now, the forecast headlines heading into the rest of tonight. Again, still some rain for the northern section of the Big Island.
All right. As you can see, I do have a times 6 combo thanks to one of my Royal Flushes. But let's see.
Thanks so much, Pete. Well, take a look at this. We got some new video tonight of a shark sighting in the waters off Ali'i Beach Park at around 11 a.m. this morning.
Get the first star already.
He says a shark was eating dead fish, staying in the shallow water for a good 20 minutes. Lifeguards posted warning signs, but the beach was not closed. Officials say the shark is at least
looks like I did.
feet long.
So rare to see an animal like that so close to the shoreline. Apparently he was eating some dead ahi is what he thought. But still, when it's that close...
Well, you can see
so did you find anything of note on a second pass at the bar? A torn poster. If you want to piece it back together, have at it. Of course, unlocking that security camera wouldn't hurt either. There could be a juicy lead to help solve the case.
She says pushed her to seek her old seat.
Plus, from dengue to Zika, mosquito eradication is a top...
Well, let's do everything now.
Could a hotspot of mosquitoes be breeding before me and Kaka'ako?
Do you have what it takes to step on the Shark Tank and get a deal?
Got it. That's a poster for the Ringed Lord, and it features an orc. Who'd want to tear that up? There's a message. You can't get out that easy, but who wrote this? You're right. Think you can find a match for the handwriting in the database? Go for it, Matthew. Handwritten note.
The little pig was very smart. He got a home loan from Ears to rebuild his house. And he got a retirement account too.
Got it.
And he lived happily ever after.
Bam! Jackson Peters wrote this. So Jackson Peters wrote this message, but who couldn't get out that easy? Good point, Matthew. We know that Jermaine Waka is the big name they got to play the main orc. Jackson Peters must have written this message to Jermaine Waka. Let's go ask him what this is all about. About the message from the victim. Hiya, Bugalugs. Did you change your mind about the photo and the haka then? Hardly. Ranger Matthew found a message Jackson Peters wrote you. It says, "You can't get out that easy. Care to explain? Get out of what?" Oh, you found that poster, eh? Thought I'd gotten rid of it. Jackson was just angry because I wanted to leave the film. I got a great sponsorship deal worth way more money than I'd ever make for some goofy fantasy film. Some goofy fantasy film? Well, yeah, plus I'd have more time for my hobbies in the off-season. Ever been spelunking, Ranger Matthew? And I could do more to raise awareness for food allergies. It's my pet cause. No one knows how hard it is to have a seafood allergy in New Zealand. A person becomes a pariah. Right. Well, Mr. Waka, maybe killing Jackson Peters was a means to an end for you. And if that turns out to be the case, you'll have to find all new hobbies in prison.
The race for Representative Mark Takai's congressional seat is shaping up with a major announcement today.
KITV's Brenton Noel reports on who's now in the running.
Okay.
The former U.S. representative made it official.
DOZ.
Her mom and her supporters by her side.
N5X. 89S. Missed out on the 9.
This is an amazing opportunity.
Security camera unlocked? Check. Let's rush it to LA to see if there's a lead inside.
Congress and finish the work that Senator Kaka had, Senator Noe had.
9 hours. I'll get the results tomorrow morning, and I'll have all the stars collected by then. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the security camera. Hi Matthew, what I found on that security camera about your victim could be a bit of a shock. Should I even watch this? Will it spoil my memory of this great film artist? Matthew's right, Carmen. This is part of the job. Steel yourself. I'm pressing play now. I'm a control freak. I'm a control freak? Look at you. This is my production. I'm the most important person involved. Do you think the whole production would fall apart if you left? But I'm your wife, your partner in life. We're in this together. You know what? I'm done. Have it your way. Do everything all by yourself. Maybe you'll finish the movie by your 75th birthday. Whoa, what was that? Bronwyn Peters said that she and Jackson found a way to work well together. If that's working well together, I'd hate to see them have a fight. You're right, Matthew. Miss Peters needs to get her story straight. Looks like she and Jackson had a serious problem. Time to heat up the grill. About the fight she had with her husband? Miss Peters, Ranger Matthew found some security footage that shows you and Jackson having a fight at the rugby bar. And you're back to playing accuse the spouse, is that it? I told you working with him wasn't exactly as sweet as Pavlova. So screaming at each other in public places was part of your creative process? How did you know about that? Look, Jackson didn't trust me. He told me to go relax, read a book, go spelunking. Meanwhile, he was going behind my back and recasting parts without consulting me. The Septology was supposed to be our baby. We were building a family of films together. But he had to have complete control. He was ruining everything. I wonder, Miss Peters, did you kill him to save your family? The evidence will have the final say. So we've definitely met one person angry enough at Jackson Peters to club him to death with a Maripi. Bronwyn Peters was livid with the victim. She clearly felt that Jackson betrayed the project and betrayed her. And that ungrateful oaf, Jermaine Waka, wanted out of the film. Would he have killed to get his way? Matthew, you had to get to the crime scene. That somber test subject is there. Baxter Frazier is ripping the film set apart and no one can control him. What on earth? Baxter Frazier left the rugby bar and is wreaking havoc on the film set. We'll have to get to Chapter 3 and stop Baxter Peters, or stop Baxter Frazier rather, in Chapter 3. See you for that. Alright folks, it's Matthew, we're back. Let's start Chapter 3 of Speak, Friend, and Die. So at least one person was angry enough at Jackson Peters to club him to death with a Marippy. Bronwyn Peters clearly felt that Jackson betrayed the project and betrayed her. Matthew, you have to get to the crime scene. That somber test subject is ripping the place apart. Baxter Frazier, but he claimed to be in hiding. Why would he want to attract attention to himself? We better get over to the crime scene and get Baxter under control. And let's stop Baxter Frazier. Baxter Frazier, stop right there. Why are you tearing apart the crime scene? I have to find the photos. All the photos. I have to find them right now. What are you talking about, Baxter? What photos? That stupid Jackson saw me spelunking. He wanted to put me in his movie. After that, Peters wouldn't leave me alone. Kept taking photos of me, telling people about me, and how to protect myself. You were afraid Jackson would blow your cover, so you killed him? No, of course not. The only thing I could murder is a Pavlova. I just have to find any evidence of me being in New Zealand and destroy it. Sombra mustn't find me. Even if you're running from Sombra, you were still trained by them. Who knows how far you'd go to hide a secret. Baxter's gone off the deep end, Matthew. He's deadly afraid of Sombra, but is he afraid enough to kill? We better have another look around the set. I really hope he didn't compromise any evidence. I'm putting 4 on this one because I did tend to case 12 in elite mode in the World Edition, but I will say though that by the time this video is up, that by the time this case has been started, case 12 would have been complete. Cell phone, watering can, there we go. Oh, and I still got the first star right on. Really wish that you could actually get some more food rewards. If you can unlock that smartphone you found at the crime scene, we could access some important information. And you're right, Matthew, there could be something in that caution box that blows the case wide open. Dig in. We've got to bring this killer to justice. They have to pay for removing such a brilliant artist from this world. AR, L3E, 7M1. You unlocked the smartphone. Definitely looks like it belongs to someone who worked on the movie. The home screen is a picture of the film set. We don't have time to look through that phone ourselves. Let's send it over to Elliot on the double. Okay, 9 hours. A torn photo. You found a torn photo in that costume box. I know you can piece it together faster than anyone. Go for it. Uh-oh. He's two-timing. The photo you piece together shows Jackson Peters kissing Ruby Armstrong on the cheek. They look pretty cozy in this picture, too. Was Jackson Peters cheating on his wife? We better go ask Miss Armstrong about this photo. Maybe she and Jackson were closer than we thought. About her photo with the victim? Miss Armstrong, we found this photo of Jackson Peters kissing you. Care to explain? That photo was taken right after I signed my location consulting contract, back when I thought location consulting would be a real job. Turns out it was all a lie. All the locations had already been chosen. Jackson just hired me to make his wife jealous. Funny, Bronwyn Peters never mentioned you. Well, it clearly didn't work. When Jackson realized I hadn't served my purpose, he called me and my work useless, rejected me outright. And you came here to forget the last person who rejected you. Was it one rejection too many, Miss Armstrong? Did you lose it and kill Jackson? The evidence won't lie. Alright, cell phone will let run its course. See you for that. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the cell phone. Chapter 3. Hey Matthew, you were right about this phone belonging to someone who works on the movie. It belongs to Brett Darby. Did you find anything suspicious? Brett told us that he and Jackson were old friends. Maybe that's why Brett agreed to work so much. I looked through his work calendar, and over the last few weeks, he has been booked to do motion capture every day for 17 hours a day. 17 hours a day? How is that even possible? The poor guy never gets a break. Either Darby's a workaholic or he hasn't told us everything about his working relationship with the victim. Let's go grill him. Overly busy work schedule? But he's cleared anyway. Mr. Darby, glad we could catch you. It seems like Jackson Peters had you working 24/7. Nearly. Jackson really started abusing our friendship as more and more people were leaving the film. He expected me to play the whole cast. Did you know Jermaine Waka is leaving too? We were having a Pavlova break the other day at the food cart and he blurted it out. But how am I supposed to take on the role of the main orc on top of everything else? I'm starting to get awful arthritis from all this motion capture. I can't even go spelunking anymore. I haven't slept for more than 3 hours a night for months. Well, you'll get plenty of sleep in prison if you kill Jackson Peters. Now he's in the running, and as is Jermaine Waka. Seems like Jackson Peters' wife wasn't the only person who had problems working with him. He was overworking Brett and undervaluing Ruby. And you're right, Matthew, we're still missing crucial evidence, like the murder weapon. Angela did say that the geyser was the original crime scene. Maybe the killer tried to hide the murder weapon there. Let's go. Hot pool, okay.
She's not back yet? No, I don't understand. Why couldn't they be doing it this time? You know what they're doing.
Yeah, I also know Stan. We were married for 38 years. And if you added up all the times that we did what he is doing right now, Blanche still should have been home 15 minutes ago.
Where are you going?
To either get ice cream or commit a felony. Don't decide on the
Okay. Let's find that.
Yes?
Young Vinny, this is Rocco. Johnny Norton sent us.
Woven basket.
Sophia, it's for you.
Stay under the covers. I'll get rid of her. Dorothy, asleep. What do you want? Open the door, Stanley.
We know the killer murdered Jackson Peters at this geyser. There must be something we can find to lock them up.
Well, it's really nice.
Hey, you're right. The victim signed this faded paper. This could have been the last message he ever wrote. Hurry, get your Justin kit. If you think that our key clue is hiding in that basket of spa stuff, then dig in. There's no time to lose.
You're wearing your toupee to bed. That means one of two things. Either there's a woman in your bed, or Suzanne Summers is on The Tonight Show.
Would you get to your point, Dorothy?
I didn't come here to see you. I came here to talk to her.
Dorothy,
Well, just take a minute and then I'll be out of here.
I'll just get everything now.
thank you.
I've been trying to figure out all day why you're doing this. I've been trying to find one
Aha.
reason that would make it okay. But
Marippy. You did it, Matthew. You found the murder weapon in that basket. That Marippy fits Jonah's description perfectly, and it's missing a tooth along the edge. If we rush the Marippy to Lars, maybe you can tell us more about it. Let's go.
I think this time you could have resisted just in case it might have made a difference to me. And I think the thing that hurts me most of all is that you
15
didn't
hours.
to tell me that you're sleeping with my husband.
Well, gee, I would have. I didn't know myself until about an hour ago.
We need to talk.
That's why she loves the new Flight and Fit Greek non-fat yogurt meat.
So the victim's note says, we need to talk. Seems urgent. This message was probably for the killer. And they must have dropped a note out here when they murdered Jackson Peters. But what's this spiral shape on the paper? It's not a watermark, but it could be evidence. We better get this to DuPont. 9 hours. See you guys for when these two are done. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the Marippy first. Matthew, there's no doubt about it. This Marippy is the murder weapon. The victim's blood is all over it. But what's that white stuff on the handle? That, my dear friends, is evidence. The killer left traces of a special sunscreen. Great. Sunscreen. Big help. Big help, Lars. Are we supposed to run all over New Zealand asking people if they wear sunscreen? We have to find the person who killed the best film director ever. I won't rest until Matthew puts that monster behind bars. Whoa, Carmen, chill out. If you let me finish, the sunscreen protects tattoos from fading in the sun. So the killer has a tattoo they need to protect from the sun? Well, they won't need that sunscreen where they're going, will they, Matthew? Victim's note from DuPont. Mes amis, I have discovered what the shape on the note you uncovered. What the shape was on the note you uncovered. It's a koru. Koru is the Maori word for loop, and it mimics an unfurling silver fern fronds to symbolize peace, growth, and new life. Isn't that beautiful? The koru is a popular motif in the indigenous culture of New Zealand and is found in many places, especially on jewelry. Thanks for educating us, but how did the spiral end up on that note? I believe that the killer folded the note and pressed it against a koru-shaped object, such as a pendant. So the killer is wearing a koru-shaped piece of jewelry. They wore a symbol for new life while they were taking a life. Well, Matthew won't give them any peace. Are you ready, Matthew? This is it. We've got everything we need to arrest the killer and avenge Jackson Peters. Let's do this. Okay.
There's no sign of a struggle here. Blow must have stunned her, maybe even knocked her out. So he lays her on the bed, ties her up, beats her, and rips her. Let's say you're looking for a lefty.
It's not Bronwyn Peters.
Slicing the left carotid, sending a spray against the wall. Kitchen knife looks good for
It's Jermaine Waka.
when he's finished with her. As for the bathroom.
Jermaine Waka, Ranger Matthews placing you under arrest for the murder of Jackson Peters. Me? Murder him? Oh, I get it. Pick the Maori guy who plays rugby. He's the violent type. Well, Excuse me. Thank you. Well, I'll have you know rugby players are gentlemen. When all the evidence points to you, we can't just ignore it. You left your seafood allergy medicine at the scene of the murder, Jermaine. I'm hardly the only person in New Zealand with that problem, am I? That's why I started the Bloody Awareness campaign. Yes, but not every person with that allergy goes spelunking, do they? You left bioluminescence from glowworms on that allergy medicine. People come to New Zealand from all around the world to go spelunking. But you left your special tattoo protecting sunscreen all over the murder weapon. I can't take any more of this. Enough. I did kill Jackson. But what choice did I have? He filmed me taking steroids. A rugby player taking steroids? That's a big no-no. I know, and Jackson knew that if anyone found out, I'd lose my rugby career, my sponsorships and advertising deals, the whole lot. Jackson was blackmailing me to stay in the film. So you decided to kill one of the most epic filmmakers in the world instead of reporting him? How could I report him? If I told on him for blackmail, he'd have leaked a story about me using steroids, and I would have lost everything. Well, it turns out you're going to lose everything anyway, Mr. Waka. You're under arrest. Jermaine Waka, you stand before this court accused of bashing Jackson Peters' head in with a Maripi. I might get one of those for my desk. They're beautiful yet intimidating. Where was I? Right. You bashed in Jackson Peters' head with a beautiful yet intimidating Maori weapon because he was blackmailing you. Jackson Peters is going to ruin my life, Your Honor. Well, you beat him to it, Mr. Waka. For the murder of Jackson Peters, one of the world's finest film directors, this court hereby sentences you to 25 years in prison. 25 years? That means I'll never play rugby again. We've got Jackson Peters' killer behind bars, but that won't bring him back. I wonder if his life's work can continue. How could it? Oh, don't be sad. Remember what you told me. The sun shines clearer and brighter when justice is served. You're right, little man. Justice has been served. Maybe it's silly, but quotes from the Rings Lord books and movies helped give me courage when I was in the field reporting. I've been teaching them to Sanjay. Ranger Matthew, I need to talk to you. It's about Sombra.
I think you better talk to them. What happened to your hand?
Well,
A broken knuckle.
How?
Banged it against the door.
we'll go to the next level 4-6 in a bit, but first here's a look at the other ones. Baxter Frazier cleared early. Ruby Armstrong cleared from the start. Brett Darby, no Koru pendant. And Bronwyn Peters, no tattoo. It was Jermaine Waka. I'll see you guys for the next level 4-6. Alright folks, it's Matthew, we're back. Let's go to the next level 4-6. Ranger Matthew, I need to talk to you. It's about Sombra. You have no idea how much Sombra is involved with everything. They're even involved with the film. Get a grip, Baxter. Sombra involved with the Rings Lord? That's ridiculous. Sombra is everywhere, and my life is in danger. Mind if I cut in, Matthew? Look, Baxter, you better tell us what the heck happened to you since Thailand. You've totally changed. There's no time for that. Sombra is involved with the production of The Rings Lord. I'm convinced that Sombra will get me if I go back to the film set, Ranger Matthew. Only you can find the proof. Matthew, you're right. We need to get to the bottom of this. If we disguise ourselves and go to the film set, people will be more likely to tell us what we need to know. From what you said, Brett Darby practically lives on the set. If anyone knows what's going on there, it'll be him. Time to go get some answers. I'll see you there. I can't stick around, Ranger Matthew. I've got to go or Sombra can't find me. You know, Baxter, I was held by Sombra too. I understand the trauma you survived, but you have to get through it so that you can go back to normal. Normal? I'll never be normal again after what Sombra did to me. You know what helped me, Baxter? Rage therapy and nature. You need to confront the anger and fear to be free. Let's go to the geyser, Baxter. What's the problem, Matthew? I can handle dealing with Baxter on my own. Do you not trust me or something? If you feel better about it, you can catch up with us at the geyser and make sure that everything's okay. Oh, let's do the geyser right now.
Is it limit drive yet, or what? We have absolutely love.
But when my mom became ill, we knew it was time to move.
So we
offered professional photos and the video tour. We got 1,000 hits on our home.
Okay, let's see. Umbrella, rabbit, toolbox, scorpion radio transmitter. That's the clue. Transmitter.
The sun's too hot.
Well, first, they just weren't that interesting.
We thought they'd be, well, a little tacky.
Hard to operate.
Now, Baxter, we're safe. This geyser is in the middle of nowhere. Sombra can't get you out here. If you say so, but I've got a bad feeling about this. What I want you to do is yell at the top of your lungs. Get in touch with all the rage you have about what Sombra did to you. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yarr! Excellent, Baxter. Let it all out. But wait a minute. What are you saying, Matthew? You found some kind of gadget? It looks like it could be a transmitter. Matthew will decode that device and we'll get to the bottom of this.
And guaranteed to last for years.
We're spending so much more time out here now. Grilling is fun again.
We have people who entertain more. It looks like we have a new room in our backyard. I mean, look at it.
Right? GEL QL4. Oh no, I was hoping I wasn't right, but this is a transmitter of some kind. I'll start tracing the original signal transfer being sent to the transmitter now, but I'll only be able to give you complete details about it back at the lab. 9 hours. About any strange activity? Here are the disguises, Matthew. We're going to be elves. When we're disguised as characters from the movie, Brett Darby might say something he'd never say to us as bureau agents. Quick, get your costume on. I see Brett Darby coming this way. You two elves, why haven't you reported to the makeup trailer? Sorry, Mr. Darby, we were just headed over there, but we're a little lost. Great, now in addition to playing half the characters, I had to babysit a couple of elves. I'm already up to my neck in babysitting duties. The actors playing the halflings have just up and disappeared. Stupid teenagers. The young people playing the halflings, they disappeared? How awful. Was there anyone weird hanging around? You mean other than people dressed as elves? Wait a tick, there was someone weird hanging around. I remember thinking that there was no character with blue skin in the movie, but there was some blue guy walking around. When I tried to track the blue chap down, he'd vanished. Whoever he was, he had one heck of a makeup job. Well, speaking of makeup, Mr. Darby, we better get over to that trailer right away. Could you point us in the right direction? Sure, it's not like I don't have 7 million other things on my to-do list. Did you hear that, Matthew? Brett Darby saw a blue guy. Do you think the man Brett saw was Marshall Metcalf? He's the only consistently blue man we've met, and he's been helping Sombra experiment on young people. If I was Metcalf, then we know that Sombra's involved with this film, just like Baxter said. We need to take a look around the set. You're right. We've got to find some proof to back up this theory. Oh, I think I see the clue.
You two know each other? He took his class at the academy. Was that serious for homicide?
Guess he had other ideas.
Camera.
Detective Hawkins has some information he thinks.
Coil hose. Horse.
Roger Berry, early 80s, beat and raped his victim and restrained him in the morning. He's out. Paroled 6 months ago. Our guy doesn't squeeze it, cuts it. Touch with a bed? Yeah. His wife rose up. Maybe we got a copycat. I would count on it. At least that little detail about the road. Or the fact that he...
That's it. The open book.
Only now he cuts the bite marks off the chest so you can't match him to his dental records. Roger's had a few years to sweat the details. Brass called this morning. Detective Hawkins has a lot of experience with Barry. He's
Nice.
temporarily resident here. Also, now I need a babysitter.
You found a book. Lars looks like a prop in the movie. Can't make out a word though. Think you can uncover what it says?
His name's Roger Berry. I missed one damn parole hearing and the morons let him live with behavior. Right, everybody?
Paul's a real take charge kind of guy.
What makes you think it's Berry? That's his signature. I read it on the first day. What do you say?
Seeing why it's clean except for contact lens on the bathroom floor. Thank you for minute record says she's 2020.
Where exactly do we
Okay.
find Roger?
His PO's got him working in a flower shop.
So you got to the information in the book. But what the heck is that language? Good call, Matthew. DuPont is a language expert. He'll be able to tell us what this book says.
Coffee cups, chocolates.
6 hours. Alright.
Wasn't able to get anything.
I'll see you guys for when that is done.
Did used to
When
say
both of these are done. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the transmitter. Matthew, I've managed to trace the original signal transfer being sent to the transmitter we found at the geyser. There seems to be some kind of monitoring device at the rugby bar. The rugby bar? That's where I've been hiding. Sommer's been spying on me this whole time. They really knew where I was all along. Calm down, Baxter. Tell us why you think Sommer's been spying on you if they haven't contacted you since you've been in New Zealand. The Bureau will find the monitoring device. Let's persuade them. Come on, Baxter. If Samba were spying on you, if they knew where you were this whole time, they would have confronted you. They're biding their time. They're probably already at the rugby bar waiting for me. I can't go back there. Do you have any proof that Samba is anywhere near New Zealand? Samba is everywhere. What am I going to do? Ranger Matthew is right, Baxter. You need to settle down. You can stay here where we're sure you'll be safe. We'll go to the rugby bar, grab a snack, and look for the bug. If anyone can find the monitoring device, it's Ranger Matthew. And once we do find the device, we'll destroy it. There we are. Sports bag. Got an ace of diamonds, thank you very much. We're getting close to the original signal from the monitoring device, Matthew, but where could it be? You have the best instincts for this type of thing. If you sense the signal is coming from somewhere inside that bag of rugby gear, then dig in. Bug. Well done, Matthew. You found a bug in that rugby rugby bag. You know what? Let's get this back to the lab. Maybe Baxter would like to destroy the bug himself. Now I gotta deal with this. Baxter, we're back. We found a bug that has been planted in some rugby gear at the bar. A bug? Now I know what all that gear was there for. Nobody ever came to pick it up. Sombra planted it. Well, the good news is we brought the bug here so you could destroy it yourself. What? You brought the bug here? Are you crazy? Sombra will know I was here. That's it. I don't need your help anymore. I have to keep running or Sombra will catch me. I'm leaving everything behind but the clothes on my back. Take my money, take everything, and don't even think about trying to follow me. That was a little pathetic. Mes amis, I was quite surprised by the book you sent me. It's entirely written in Yanak, a language created for the universe of the Ring's Lord. I myself have dabbled in the creation of fictional languages in my spare time, and for research purposes, I studied and became fluent in Yanak. But this book is mostly laundry lists and inventory. It was written by a calligrapher months ago. Matthew, however, uncovered fresh writing in the book that had to do with Bronwyn Peters. Bronwyn Peters? The victim's wife? What would she be doing in a prop book? It appears that Miss Peters received a large sum of money in an account separate from both the accounts she shared with her husband and the film's budget. The entry also mentions hiring a group of young people to play halflings, the purchase of plane tickets, and an agreement to send the group of youths away by today's date. Well, this sounds shady to me, Matthew. Let's go back to the set and see if we can get more information out of Miss Peters. Moment, folks. Alright, let's interrogate Bronwyn Peters. Where the heck have you two been? Seriously, I know that my husband's passing has created chaos, but you were due on set 5 minutes ago. We're very sorry, Miss Peters, but we were looking for my little brother everywhere and can't seem to find him. He was playing a halfling. A halfling? Well, none of them are supposed to be on set today. But you see, I'm his legal guardian. Our parents died recently, and I'm the only family he has left. Please, you have to help me find him. Oh no, what have I done? We don't know, Miss Peters. What have you done? Did you send all those little halflings away? You sure got a nice payday for it. I'm such a fool. One of the film's financial backers offered to give me a little extra money if I cast a specific group of youths as halflings in the film. The kids are already pretty strange. What with having yellow eyes and all, I thought, why not save some money on makeup? The only catch was that I had to buy plane tickets for the halflings and send them away on a particular day. Where are the youths going, Miss Peters? We have to know. Each of the kids is going to a different continent. I just thought they were going to make other movies. But with enough money in your pocket, you could turn a blind eye and not ask any questions, right? Well, we're done talking. You're coming with us. Please, how can I make up for this? I know, how about a memento from the movie? Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Matthew? Miss Peters said the young people playing halflings had yellow eyes. They have to be young people Sombra has run experiments on. If the financial backers paid Bronwyn Peters to manage those youths for them, they could be another front for Sombra. And now these young people are being sent all over the world. But why? What is Sombra playing at? So, Baxter Fraser is in the wind again. But we learned about the yellow-eyed halflings and that Marshall Metcalf was here, so we know Sombra was involved in the production of the film. The young people are being sent all over the world, but we have no idea why. And there's no way to chase them all simultaneously, even if we don't have the resources for that. You'll never believe this, Matthew, but I got another message from X. It says, if you want to see a somber test subject in action, go to the Sydney Harbour. So one of Sombra's human experiments is in Sydney, Australia. You heard Elliot, Matthew. You're going to Australia to chase up that lead. Three sticker packs. I still have over 38,000 energy, but chances of me doing another case in elite mode could be pretty slim, although I'm not quite sure about it. June 9th, that's this Thursday. Alright? And I have one sticker pack from Pacific Bay, I believe. One of them is the Guru. Alright, I'll see you guys for... Well, actually, first of all, God Save the Prince. Oh, that's where it was. Okay. And once again, I do think these sticker packs are really bad news, but I wouldn't care for them if they still included the food rewards. If they included the food rewards with the sticker packs, I would be okay with it. Some have been saying that they shouldn't even, that the sticker packs shouldn't even be added. I agree with it, but I still think that what they did was bad news. But what can you do? Okay, I'll see you guys for case 35, the Oceania District. That was Speak, Friend, and Die. And I'll see you guys for another case. But for now, this is Matthew. See you later.